going right in. I repeat, I'm a maid from proper human history. Please come find me at the following coordinates. This is Baldanders. Wandering Sea. The Wandering Sea. It's one of the 3 great organizations of Magecraft world. Here's the Clock Tower, Atlas Institute, the oldest of them all, the Wandering Sea. It was located on an island from the Age of Gods, hidden in the northern oceans. Does this mean it still exists? Dun, dun. Atmospheric analysis complete. Nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and carbon dioxide levels all green. 1 second. The mana in the atmosphere is almost identical to levels in the 21st century. I'm not picking up any harmful trace substances either. We still have breathable air, even in this creepy, bleached world. Well, that means we can spark the shadow border and go have a look for ourselves. What do you think, Ren? Doesn't that sound intriguing, stepping out into a world of sheer nothing in every direction? Haha, of course it does. First we'll go out and get some fresh air, then we'll look for food. Still haven't told me what the Wandering Sea actually is. You don't know either, do you? Of course I do, you dolt. Gordolf Music is not a man to pretend to know something he doesn't. The Mages Association isn't a monolith, I'll have you know. Because I used to work at the clock tower, doesn't mean I've ever been to the supposedly living Wandering Sea in the North Sea. Oh, so you only heard rumors. I thought you were some big important family, old man. You call me that, double chin? If I must spell it out for you, then here it is. The Wandering Sea of Baldanders is the first enigma ever discovered in the world of Magecraft. It will be the last to be puzzled out. It's an island so mysterious and full of mystics that even such a gifted mage of an incredibly prestigious bloodline as myself may not even set foot on it. True, that all fits with what's in Chaldea's database. It says that though the Mages Association has been around since the start of the AD era, it also split into 3 branches shortly after its inception. The mages who settled in London evolved with the times, and focused on developing Magecraft over the course of history. That faction went on to become the Clock Tower, the largest and most powerful Magecraft organization in the world. Mages who settled in London, evolved with the times, following Magecraft, went on to become the Clock Tower. Okay. Its members included the Anumisphere family, founders of Chaldea, and Mr. Gorodolf here. Quite so. Here in the 21st century, the Mages Association and the Clock Tower are all but synonymous. The next major faction is the Atlas Institute in Egypt. They're dedicated to perfecting alchemy. We actually infiltrated their headquarters once during the 6th century. It was a huge research complex, almost like a giant crypt built deep underground, and as easy as it was to get in, it was as hard to get out. The Atlas Institute's ironclad rule is that the technology created there must never leave. But Chaldea's first director was granted an exemption thanks to the Atlas contract. Technology he was able to take from the Atlas Institute enabled him to complete Chaldeus. It was also the Atlas Institute that presented him with the Void Reality Observation Device, Paper Moon, one of the finest mystic codes ever made. Indeed. They seldom poke their noses out of their little hole in the ground, but I am told they do converse with lords, albeit as little as possible. They may be a heartless bunch who only care about weapons and technology. They can be rather useful if you play your cards right.
Yeah.
No. What's up?
Yeah. How's Lostbelt 1?
pretty good. It was pretty good.
Oh yeah. When Paxi, that's why we consider. That's why I consider Pain Belt.
It's not as bad as Solomon, but yeah.
No, that's pretty bad. Oh yeah. So how was everything, man? The new
What's up?
Lostbelt story, new master battles,
Yeah.
the tree battle. How was the tree battle?
It was. I got very lucky, and my last servant was a rescue goal, and she had like 2,000 health, and she was able to beat it.
Fog.
Very lucky.
So what do you think was the hardest fight in Lostbelt?
Either the tree or the master battle with Anastasia. But probably the Anastasia battle because, whatchamacallit, something happened. She had guts on her last, break bar, and whenever you killed her, her guts would activate and she would heal fully health. And that's what ended up killing me.
Bro, I can imagine, like, bro, what the hell? Bro, I'm fighting a master dude. The dude got command spells.
I ended up having to use my command spells just to beat him.
You do be like that.
If she didn't heal full, I would have won. But nope.
It's okay. At least you beat it.
Yeah.
But still.
Part of it's my servants. They're just not leveled up.
I cried. Rest in peace, Paxi.
And finally, last faction in the Wandering Sea.
At the end, when Salieri plays the piano.
Furiously plays piano.
Yeah, and at the end too, when you beat the trainer.
Oh, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Pain Belt.
Finally, the last faction in the Wandering Sea. Baldanders. Said to be somewhere in the North Sea.
Everything's not Daijobu.
However, the most I could find about them was a brief overview, even on Chaldea's extensive file. It is said that their cardinal rule is to only recognize magecraft from the Age of Gods and refuse to accept any advancements or alterations urged by civilization. In essence, their ideology is the exact opposite of the clock towers. Indeed, refusing to accept progress in magecraft means refusing to accept consumer civilization. The Wandering Sea's philosophy of magecraft is fundamentally incompatible with modern human history.
The kid legit got an upgraded gun. He pack a punches with a revolver. That's what happens.
Yeah. Then he straight up shot Anastasia.
Yeah, no, the kid doesn't mess around.
He shot Anastasia. He shot Adelante too, I think.
Yeah, he ain't messing around. He got a gun. Gun rated for for everyone, Brennan.
That is why they keep their gates firmly shut, and why they seldom add to their number. In other words, they're a bunch of old fuddy-duddies obsessed with magecraft so ancient it has to be measured with carbon dating. That said, they do open their gates just once every year to try.
For everyone. No one goes down.
Just once every year to try and recruit promising new talent. Even among mages of the Clock Tower, the number who actually make it to the Wandering Sea can be counted on one hand. See my point? I'm saying the Wandering Sea is every bit as secretive as the Atlas Institute, just in a different way. No one from the outside has ever been able to get the full story, the reason being.
As of right now, Lostbelt 2 is my second favorite. Under Lostbelt 4, 2 is up there.
So 4 is your favorite?
Yeah, 4 is my favorite.
As the name suggests, the Wandering Sea is always on the move. Most who know of it believe it to be a floating island somewhere in the North Sea, but it is, in fact, the very opposite. The Wandering Sea's headquarters, built before the AD era, before it began, never move at all. It is instead the sea in which they are located that moves around, a world unto itself in many. Do you know what Do you know what Jersey Mike's is?
The sandwich store?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have one on the close to us. I think
Hmm.
they just built it.
Have you ever had it before?
No, I know what it is. I
Hmm.
just never had it. Is it good?
Went there for the first time today.
Is it good?
Yeah, I got
Well, how do you
like
order it?
a
Is there like a menu? Is there like a preset menu?
yeah. There's a preset menu, and you can add and subtract from it if you want.
Okay, because I think they just built one next to us. Just came out.
Hmm. I got a small like buffalo chicken sub and a small Philly cheesesteak
Oh, dude, I
sub.
want a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, it was. They're both really good.
I want a Philly. I haven't had a Philly cheesesteak in a while.
Saw a meme that says the only way to eat Philly cheesesteaks is with cheese whiz. Cheese whiz on my pizza and cheese whiz in my Philly cheesesteak.
What the hell is cheese whiz?
The cheese in a can. That
No,
sprayable
no,
cheese.
ew, no, why? Double
Cheese
fermented
whiz.
cheese, the double canned cheese with the processed cheese with little processed canning, bro. That's disgusting. Why? Why would you do that?
Cheese whiz. But yeah.
That's like double. That's like double unhealthy for you.
Yeah, it's super bad. But they make it like in front of you, and they used I think Swiss cheese was. Yeah, pretty good.
What kind of cheese they got? Biggie cheese.
As almost certainly why its location is still remains a secret even in the 21st century. Land that moves around while placing mystic textures on itself. I see. That would make its own independence. That would make it its own independent singularity. It would also explain how I was able to escape.
Cheese.
What? I hope not. That'd be so gross.
Canned cheese.
Yeah, you can go to like Walmart and get Cheese Whiz.
Canned cheese. Do I already get cheese regularly? Like it's already been processed. And it goes like.
Not even cheese at that point. It would also explain how I was able to quote unquote cheese.
Forbidden cheese.
It also explained how I was able to escape whatever turned the Earth's surface into an endless white desert. All this time they've been turning their noses up at us. Yeah. The moment things go south, they don't have any issue sending us a distress signal. True.
And a harem. Waifus.
It's like, oh, there's a giant tree. Alright, I'm Da Vinci. You guys can fly now. Go ahead and fight it.
Alright. Calvin. I told you I'd be on later. I was falling. I fell asleep. I woke up like 8 o'clock in the morning to go to the dentist.
Do what?
To go to the dentist.
Oh.
How many cavities?
None. But I need to floss more, or thoroughly more.
Some successors to the true mystics they turned out to be. They shouldn't try taking a page from our book.
Piggy cheese. He didn't have me back.
True. We're the ones who made it through Russia by the skin of our teeth.
It's half AP interlude.
Yeah, I already did all of the ones that I could do. The only ones I had available were from Ushi and Uriel. That's it.
Oh yeah, so you did it with Ushi? Yeah.
Yeah.
The man head pats.
Yeah. The ones who made it through Russia by the skin of our teeth, with no outside help. We're the ones who are currently flailing about with no plan. At least you understand that the situation is still pretty dire, I guess. Given the present circumstances, it looks like the people of the Wandering Sea have decided to bend their rules in order to offer us a lifeboat.
You know that guy you have to fight for a commission.
At any rate, Administrator Holmes, I have a question for you. I would like to be as certain as possible. What do you make up of this? Can we trust that their distress signal is genuine? I'm afraid I can't speak to that. What do you think, Da Vinci? Could go either way. From the look of it, transmission isn't part of the clock tower standards, but its wavelength is pretty close to the waveforms the Atlas Institute. Since we don't have any data about the Wandering Sea ourselves, I can't really give you a definitive answer. Still, I can verify that there's definitely something to be found at these coordinates. Whatever their story is, there's a magecraft workshop there. I'd really like to at least check it out. I know we managed to stretch things with the materials we got in Russia, but there are still limits to what the Shadow Border can do. What I really want to do is retune the whole frame from scratch, but I doubt we'll be finding much in the way of materials, considering the entire world seems to be an empty wasteland. These coordinates from the Wandering Sea would put it in the seas west of Norway. We could go through the Scandinavian peninsula or turn north at Germany and cut across Denmark. We just left Moscow heading west, so it'll take us a few days to reach them regardless of our route. Assuming that the border can convert the mana in the atmosphere into electricity, that just leaves the question of food. We go via zero sail. No zero sails. As technical advisor, I expressly forbid it. Even if we are going to run into another one of those storm walls along the way, we need to stick to the surface as much as possible. But why? And did you just say there are more of those storm walls? Explain yourself, technical advisor. If there's another storm wall in our path, doesn't that mean running straight into another Lostbelt? Sorry about that. We don't have any other choice, Gorodolf. Not with the two big problems we're facing. First, there's a small matter of the Wandering Sea living up to its name. These coordinates they sent us are all over the place. Literally, in fact, they're in a constant state of flux, nothing definite or precise. With coordinates like these, it would be very risky to try zero sailing there with the paper moon. So until and unless we go to the Wandering Sea directly and forge some kind of connection to it, long-distance zero sail is out of the question. Second, and this is the real problem, we don't have the energy. Yes, Holmes oh so helpfully suggested converting mana into electricity as if it were a simple matter, but that can only get us so far. The conversion rate isn't efficient enough, so we'd end up spending more power than we can produce, which would make a long zero sail trip fatal. After all, no more power means no more working life support systems. I don't know about you guys, but I sure don't want to be out in this bleached white world all by myself. Good point. The logic walls we have to put up in void space do use a lot of power. At our current energy levels, I don't think the border could last 2 hours there. Like Da Vinci said, we don't have the exact coordinates we need. What? Are you saying we need to enter another Lostbelt if we're going to reach this possible hope for salvation? Where is this new Lostbelt? We use the typical world map, then the entire Scandinavian peninsula is covered by one of these storm walls. Another half a day or so of driving, you should all get to see the closest thing to the edge of the world for yourself. Take that to mean this white, featureless ground would continue until we exit Russian territory then. At any rate, we have two possible routes to the Wandering Sea's designated coordinates. One that takes us across the Scandinavian peninsula, and one that brings us to the sea via Poland and Germany. Da Vinci, in your estimation, which of these gives us our best chance? Should we go by land or by sea? I think making a sea voyage would be a lot to ask of the border. We could perhaps get through the Strait of Dover. To be honest, I'd rather we keep our distance from the British Isles, since we have no idea about the state of the oceans just now. What I'm saying is, I think the overland route is the best choice right now. Good grief. No sooner are we done with one Lostbelt than we're off to a second. Thoughts, Mr. Wren? It's a scary thought. Indeed. I heartily concur. Promise you will have our full support. To be afraid in a situation as this is the mark of sanity. Let's just leave it at that. So you're set on having us cross the Scandinavian peninsula then, aren't you, Da Vinci? Alright, come this far after leaving Moscow, so at the border's current speed, we should reach the peninsula in about 2 days. Very well then, use that time to make sure we're fully prepared. Monier, if we run into anything we could use to shore up our defenses along the way, take that opportunity to stop the border and ensure everything is in good working order. Da Vinci, you look after the little demi-servant girl. I can't have her falling down on the job. Hello, hello, Linacat. And yep, it is Lostbelt 2 time. How you doing? How you doing? Holmes, comes with me. We're going to the solitary confinement chamber. Solitary confinement? Mr. Gordolf, does that mean? Of course. I'm going there to interrogate Kadak. He should be waking up any time now. It's time for me to put my brilliant questioning skills to use. When I'm through with him, he'll have told us what the cryptors are, what Wodime is planning, everything. Mark my words. I'm coming too. Right, nice. Don't you look at me like that. You need the right people for the right job. I admit I may not be the best fit for interrogation, but you, even less so. Don't you worry. Kadak may be something of a twisted little brat, but he's still a growing boy. Merely tempt him with food and he'll be putty in my hands. Trust me, one whiff of my creamy carbonara will turn his complexion from sour milk to sunflowers in an instant. Worry not, Mr. Wren. I'll see to it that the interrogation doesn't devolve into violence. In fact, I have my own questions what I wish to ask him. Fairly good idea of the cryptor's goal now, and I also believe I know the extent of Kadak Zemlupus's personal knowledge. However, there are still two important things I know little about, the Tree of Emptiness and that serious slight command spell of his. Granted, the latter is something Kadak merely mentioned once, and may not be that important. Uh-oh. An emergency alert? What's this all about? I thought there weren't supposed to be any more oprychniki. We're not out of the Russian woods yet. Something is approaching us at high speeds. Closing in on our port side, over at 90 kilometers per hour. Come on, Meunier, floor it before it catches up to us. I can't. We're just about to go uphill. The border can't go any faster. Crap. You keep a heat signature too. It's an RPG. Impact in 3, 2. Felt that. Please tell me that wasn't a direct hit. Damage report. Is the engine intact? Are we going to have to bail in the middle of this race? I'm sure the damage is negligible, and our armor is still perfectly intact. We shouldn't need to do more than wipe off the scorch mark. Shadowborder's armor is a composite of cutting-edge technology and magecraft theory. Normal weapons can't even scratch it. Not what I'm seeing, Holmes. That blast took out one of our armor plates. Another hit like that and we'll be in deep shit. Huh? Really? Holmes. That means... I remember now. It's the same sort of explosion I felt way back 2 weeks ago when I was just a hapless, albeit handsome man being shot at with an anti-material rifle. This can only mean that Koyanskaya is back to finish the job. It really might be curtains this time. Spare us the trip down memory lane, old man. Come on, Holmes, do something. Right, my apologies. I'm not used to eating crow. Evacuate all staff in the port side hallway to the engine room immediately. Light and I will go deal with this attack. On that note, Miss Light, I would like you to put up a magical energy barrier in the internal hallway so as to fend off a possible second round. I trust you're alright with that, Wren. Go for it, Mash. Don't worry. I won't let them put one more scratch on the border. Hostile entity should reach the border in 50 meters. Putting up visual now. They must think they're hot stuff. Their vehicle must have impressive suspension if they're heading straight at us, though. I didn't think Russia had any race cars like that around. Alright, where are you, you little leftover oprychnik? Let's see what you look like. What the actual hell? That's not a vehicle, it's a person. Someone is approaching on foot. Wait, that silhouette. Oh, shoot. What? Kide's just running at us? Clergy vestments and a Lostbelt servant reading. It's that priest, the one who calls himself Macarius. You just imagine him running at like however fast this stupid shadow border is going. I woke up when I thought I heard a voice calling me. It was a cold, almost brutal kind of voice. Where am I? Guess this means I'm still alive. There's a dull ache in the back of my head where I got pistol whipped. He sure wasn't playing around. Goddamn cowboy. Shouldn't outlaws be cool and laid back and all that? It's shaking. Am I in a vehicle? This must be the shadow border. I try to assess the circumstances as best as I can in this dimly lit place. Looks like they took me prisoner. They bound my hands, but now I can move around freely. The anti-magecraft cuffs they must have used on me are lying in pieces on the floor. Did I break them unconsciously while I was out? I couldn't have. I'm not that. I know I'm not that capable. Why are the cuffs so damn cold? Something frees them enough to turn them brittle. Maybe it's her farewell gift to me. Ugh. The thought even entered my mind makes me sick. I don't have time to get all sentimental. Now that I failed, I don't have the right. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm going to waste this opportunity. I'm gonna make a getaway. Someone attacking the shadow border from the outside, but the only ones who could do that are the cryptors. Does it mean someone here is to rescue me? No, there's no chance of that. Here to shut me up. There's no other reason anyone would waste their time on a loser like me. Can't just sit around and wait for them to kill me. Gotta find a way out of here. After that, who knows? Escaping's all I can hope for now. Once that's done, I'll just have to see where the winds take me. Damn it, there goes another one. What's the situation? Mash raised her shield just in time. That one barely did anything. Way to go, Mash. Hostile servant is still in pursuit on the border's port side. Is he about to fire again? How many rounds did he even bring with him? Just noticed the NFF services mark on that thing. Must be one of Koyanskaya's weapons. No wonder I was able to damage the magecraft armor. That said, it looks like that priest is all sermon and no rod. Like pearls before swine, so too gold before music, I suppose? What? The only one who could properly handle a modern magecraft weapon like that is Koyanskaya herself. The hatch is open. Why is the hatch open? Quick, check the internal surveillance cameras. I think someone opened the border's hatch and got outside. Someone on the starboard ramp. Can't be right. You expect me to believe someone is hanging off the side like this in some kind of action move? That's Kadok. Just how many adventure crazed nuts are there around? I thought there was something on us. The signal's headed toward the deck now. He's trying to take advantage of confusion to escape. Come on, Ren. We're taking that hatch and going up there too. Do not let Kadok get away. I have a mountain of questions I still need to ask him. You, huh? Figures you'd show up. You're looking a little less dazed now. Glad to see you're back to your usual happy-go-lucky nonsense. Looks like you're back up and at 'em too, I guess. Yeah? Guess we've both been pushing ourselves to the limit. Takes its toll though, doesn't it? I always felt the pressure before. It's gotten even worse now that it's gone. Hell, I might as well have had a bag of feathers on my shoulders earlier compared to now. We both knew what we wanted to do. We didn't really get it. Enough chit-chat already. Zemlupus. Get back inside the border now. I'll make sure you're treated fairly under the international law. Trust me, you don't want to be stupid and go jumping off a moving vehicle like this. I can tell you from experience you'll regret it. You'll end up dead and we'll have lost you. Show me that you're willing to help us, and I'd be willing to put in a good word for you with the association. You don't have to threaten me. I thought there might be a lifeboat or something out here, but there's nothing. Getting out of here was a huge pain in the ass. Looks like it was... Once, I might have jumped off just to spite you, but now I've got a promise to keep. Can't go throwing my life away. You want to interrogate me, right? Fine, I'll tell you everything you want to know. It's a small price to pay for survival. Uh-oh. At this point, I don't care what it takes to stay alive. Bro, look at these red flags. And... excellent. This makes my little insurance trip out here well worth it. Turn around, you idiot. Kadok. Yeah. Sputin, you son of a... Why, if it isn't Gordolf Musik, how nice to see you again. Not Lostbelt in a nutshell, really, yeah. You too, Master of Chaldea. Allow me to offer my congratulations on successfully taking down Russia. Go over him right now. I'm afraid I can't do that. I have my own concerns, you understand, of course. My job was to oversee Kadok Zemlupus' role as a cryptor, and that role has come to an end. So I thought I would give him as merciful a send-off as possible. As if Da Vinci wasn't enough. Now he's gone and stabbed Kadok in the back too. As a gentleman, I'm honor-bound to stop him, but my golf punch will never work on him. Where's Holmes when you need him? I thought he was always supposed to be 2 steps ahead. Not to worry, Director Gorodolph. Eliminating all of you isn't in my job description. Russia is currently my sole jurisdiction, you see. As such, I needed to handle this before you left the area entirely. I hope you can forgive the necessity of my resorting to such drastic measures unbefitting of my age. I'm afraid I lack Koyanskaya's ability to move between Lostbelts. I'm limited to getting around the same way you do. Death flags everywhere. As a middle manager of sorts, I'm not able to go to the next Lostbelt without the foreign god's permission. Foreign god? Intriguing. Would you be so good as to tell us more, Macarius? Sorry I'm late. Huh? Kadok? Now then. I'd best be on my way. I hope you won't mind my saving the answer to your question for our next meeting, Sherlock. Oh, before I go, I would at least like to put a stop to this false name you've been using for me. My true name is Rasputin, Grigory Rasputin. As said, I confess that this spirit origin doesn't belong to me. I'm simply borrowing it from a dead man. I deduced all that long ago, my dear priest. My concerns are more fundamental in nature. Where did you acquire that dead man? In proper human history, Kotomine Kide's body was cremated. So how did you come to take possession of a dead man without a body? I'm sure you'll figure that out sooner or later, Sherlock. That is, after all, what you do. Once you call the incineration of humanity a mythological murder case, in which case, go ahead and label this attack the same way. Ask yourself who committed this crime, and how. Once you have arrived at that answer, we will meet again. When that day comes, I look forward to you accusing the culprit in person. Rasputin has made off with Kadok. What should we do? Maybe if we turn maybe if we turn the border around now. Don't bother. I cannot read today. I keep stuttering. God. We'll never catch up. We can't risk going back to Russia. We'll just have to give up interrogating Kadok. It was my fault. I should have considered that someone may pursue us. Can't believe I got knocked out again. Sneaking up on people and stabbing them is kind of your thing, huh? I think my heart actually stopped for a while back there. Indeed it did. If it hadn't, do you really think Holmes would have let us escape so easily? No. If he had realized you were still alive, they would have come back to retrieve you. I couldn't let that happen. God after Kirchstaria asked me to bring you back to Olympus. Is that so? Doesn't matter either way, you wasted your time, Rasputin. Oh? Whether Chaldea kills me or Wodyme does it, I'll just be as dead. Now that I failed, I don't belong with either of them. I'm just going to be an example to the other cryptors. What? What is it? You've got something to say, spit it out, Father. Apologies, I was just thinking how much easier my job would be if Kirchstaria was that sort of person. At any rate, it's clear what's going to happen to you. You may have lost your right to run a Lostbelt. You still have your serious light. That command spell belongs to our god. As long as you possess it, your life does not belong to you alone. You no longer have the option of throwing your life away, Kadok. Your fate is to have every last bit of your soul squeezed out of you until the day you die. Ooh.
We just have to see.
Let's see. Please
Dang.
banner had Sucrose
What?
official. Sucrose.
This boy,
Sucrose.
Kide, just sprinted full force at a moving vehicle.
And then Eula's banner, and then I think after Eula's banner is where it resets, because Jin Yan is on that banner now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if we go back one more.
Intro to 2. Wonder how many sections are in Lostbelt 2. I'll look that up whenever we start it. It's been 2 days since Rasputin attacked. Chaldeans are currently on their way to Scandinavia. Everything is so white. The words blank slate have never seemed so appropriate, like the entire surface has been reset. Nothing but pure white wherever you look. Everything is gone. Nature, civilization, even the flora and fauna have completely disappeared. Not disappeared, it's more like they've all been pruned away. All there is to see in every direction is a pure white plain, though there were a few topographical exceptions along the way. Looked like the remains of some buildings that appear to have been warped by extreme heat or destroyed in some kind of shock wave. Whatever the cause, one could see that these had been man-made structures of some kind. This led the Wren and his allies stepping out of the shadow border to investigate further. The atmospheric composition was the same as before. There was no need for a hazard suit or a spacesuit of anything of the sort. Good thing you didn't have to get all dressed up like an astronaut, huh? Said Leonardo da Vinci with a cherubic smile. Look, Senpai, you can see them up ahead. Buildings. Looks like even the buildings have been bleached. Explains why we couldn't see them at a distance. There are buildings, right? If there are any survivors here, we should bring them back to the border as soon as... She trailed off all of a sudden. Probably because what she saw was beyond anything she could have imagined. No one could blame her. Anyone else would have been agape at the bizarre sight before them. The color had been drained out of everything. Some parts of the building even looked as though they had been rubbed away with an eraser. The whole thing looked like some bizarre postmodern art exhibit, and was all made the more baffling by being in the middle of a bleached desert. No signs of life. Not even the remains of what had once been alive. Looks so sterile, especially for ruins, sort of thing you'd only see in dreams. Everyone back on the border, seeing it on their monitors, must have thought they were looking at footage from an alien. Let's go in. There might still be something inside. Earth had changed. It had been completely bleached. A planet now totally devoid of life, with the exception of the Lostbelts. Even when it had been reset to a blank slate, there were still some places, some buildings, some life forms that have survived. Aldea decided to call these remnants. Today was the first contact they had with these sorts of remnants, these buildings that had been left behind on this newly blank Earth. Despite the director's pessimistic outlook, other staff couldn't ignore the possibility, however slight, that there might still be other survivors. Even though they never did find any other people, their investigation wasn't. They did find signs of life, signs that someone had survived all this and had been here before them. Here, near the Scandinavian Lostbelt, in what used to be Helsinki, capital of Finland. Were signs in these buildings that someone else was still alive. Signs that someone had been living for days, weeks, or maybe even months. Empty bottles, piles of canned food, remains of a communication device that someone had clearly spent a great deal of effort trying to repair. There was even something that looked like a doll lying on the floor, a sign that a young child had been among the survivors. Above all, they found something that had clearly been left behind within time. According to this journal, it looks like somebody was here as recently as 2 days ago. The last entry is dated the day before yesterday. Looks like there were 6 survivors at first. Over time, their numbers gradually dwindled until... And in the end, whoever wrote this journal must have been the last one to disappear. Where could they have all gone? Unfortunately, though whoever wrote the journal had excellent penmanship, it was in a language that Ren could not read. It could have been Finnish, maybe Swedish. Either way, it may as well have been Greek to Ren. Why did this happen to our planet? Why do these invaders from another world hate humanity so much? If nothing else, those final questions written on the last pages were clear. Why? That is all the people could ask, even as they were wiped away, almost as though they were being punished for seeking meaning in their crisis. Time, Master. Let's head back to... We're almost to Sweden now. You should rest up for the coming battles. As they left the remnants behind, one thought haunted each and every one of them. nor was there such a trace of blood or a hint of violence. Shadow Border will enter the second Lost Belt. It will be a hellish wasteland inhospitable to life, or perhaps. So what's those storm walls look like from the outside? That's what they look like. Yep. Finally about to take the plunge into Scandinavian Lostbelt. Not because we have no other choice. Like with Russia, this time we choose to do it ourselves. As you all saw, there's a tree of emptiness here as well. Though at this distance, it looks more like a faint pillar of light than a tree. Quite so. We may not know what it's like on the inside, but we do know exactly what we need to do. This is a Lost Belt, a place carved out of a history different from our own. No telling what horrors may await us there. Once we cut down the Tree of Emptiness thingamabob, the Lost Belt will return to its original state, and the storm wall will disappear. Yep, but I think we should put this particular Tree of Emptiness investigation off until later. Our priority is to slip through Scandinavia and get to the Wandering Sea. Despite on what it's like in there, we might not be able to just ignore the Lost Belt. If we're going to invade this place, we should do so after we've improved our offensive options at the Wandering Sea. It won't do for Ren and Mash to be the only two ever risking their necks on the front line. I just hope that transmission really was from the Wandering Sea. What now? I thought those storm walls were impenetrable. That we can penetrate using the Shadow Border's primary function. The storm is approximately 2 kilometers wide, so we will cross it via a zero sail. You mean we're going to dive back into void space? Come on now. Surely I'm not the only one who was wildly uncomfortable seeing his soul leave his body, was I? Is it just me, or is looking down at your own body in third person a truly unsettling experience? It's going to have to deal, Gorodolf. You're kidding me. You mean you're completely fine with it? Doesn't it bother you, having a bird's eye view of your own life? Oh, of course it makes us all feel sick, but you're the commander now, yeah? So frickin' suck it up, would you? Honestly, I've gotten used to it. I mean, a short hop through void space is nothing compared to a ray shift. Not that I've ever ray shifted myself. Don't you start talking back to me, Munyer. Ray shift, schmay shift. Clearly, the zero sail program that began under my new administration is a far more impressive achievement. Holmes, Da Vinci, prepare the Shadow Border for takeoff. Indeed, Gorodolf, I, for one, am truly inspired by your little speech. Well done on your part. That will be one less thing to worry about during our dive. Okay, places everyone. It's time to strap in for today's out-of-body experience. Good news is, we're not going to dive as deeply as we did last time. We're just going to skim under the surface, so to speak, so that we stick to reality space, time, and distance as closely as possible. We have to do it like that, since we don't have anything tying us to Scandinavia. It'll be like a split-second dive into a two-dimensional plane. Think of it like going scuba diving without an oxygen tank. We just need to hold our breath for a little bit while we make our way through the wall. All set? We'll be setting foot in another brand new world soon, right? Let's go where no man has gone before, again. Got it. Okay then, let's see what's going on the other side of this wall. Expanding void space, paper moon. Destination, southern Sweden, near... Yeah. Ray shift, schmay shift. Expanding logic formula on Shadow Border's external armor. Removing existence verification for reality space. Future prediction, hypothetically prove mirror world plane in 20 seconds. Relaxing space-time friction, decompression for 0.4 seconds. Systems are green. Maybe a calm sea, but as always, don't forget to watch out for big waves. Shadow Border, untether from reality, void space dive, zero sail, unfurl. SQ. Section 1. Okay, let me see how many are in here. How many sections in Lostbelt 2? Lostbelt 2 has 17. Bet. Okay. Let us go. Start quest. 1. Well, 2. Assault of the Demonic Sword. Beginning. Always hated Sundays. Because I hate my father? No. Is it because I hate my mother? No, it's not that either. When I was little, I wholeheartedly embraced their dreams for me. I really thought everything they talked about would come true. I didn't need to hate them. I didn't even need much in the way of paternal love from them. I believed that I would one day reach the 6th imaginary element, just as I would be the one to make my family's long-held dream come true. I had gained the power I needed to accomplish that. Even so, I hated Sundays, detested them even. I loathed having to spend all day Sunday at home, the home I grew up in. My parents. From the time I woke up until the time I went to bed, it felt as though that giant ceiling was crushing me to death. I don't hate my parents. I respect them. Proud of them. That much has never changed. Then, what did I hate about Sundays? Report from the computer room. So far, the Zero Sail is looking just peachy. Just kick back and enjoy this little voyage through the Sea of Time. We've got 150 kilometers across. At our current reduced speed, I think it should take us about an hour or so. Oh? Uh-oh. Somebody's not happy about this trip. What happened to all the bluster you were spouting just a little while ago? No, this is our only second voyage, but you should be used to this by now. Am I wrong, Gordolf? Oh, yes. Did you need something? Technical advisor. Is it tea time already? Something you're worried about? Of course not. Wouldn't waste time on foolish sentiment. I thought I would feel better after we defeated the servant who destroyed Chaldea, but I don't, at all. My poor four flush. They were the finest private army I've ever had. They may have been a bunch of thugs and hoodlums, but they did their job. After this whole mess is sorted out, I'll need to pay out their life insurance. Once I can scrape together more than a penny to my name, of course. That said, this way of getting around really is beyond the pale. I'm a man of the land, not the sea. Not that I hesitate to board a submarine to save humanity, of course. But this, I may be better about seasickness now, but I don't think I'll ever get used to this Zero Sail nonsense. See, he cares. I guess. We'll see. Time will tell. You still feel bad even though you're not seasick. Are you claustrophobic or something? Fofo. I'm not claustrophobic. I mean that I don't care this void space business. It's not something I'm just going to get used to. Let me be clear. Getting used to danger means losing sight of oversights, betrayals, bankruptcy, victories, getting revoked by judges. All those sorts of retribution stem from carelessness and arrogance. You can't assume everything will be sunshine and roses just because things happen to go your way once. Not to mention, verifying the existence of void space may be a great feat, I'll admit, but be honest, you still don't have a clue what it even is, do you? No, not really. Make it a rule never to get on any machine I can't drive myself, and yet. Void space is something only a tiny handful of mages have ever so much as touched. Thinking about floating around in there makes me, I don't know, I think I'm about to be sick. Say that. Yet your complexion tells me that you're feeling just fine. Mr. Gorodolf, I admire your gumption. The rest of the staff are equally versed in science and magecraft, but you, Director, are a mage's mage. That is why traveling through void space puts you so ill at ease. You are keenly aware of both the benefits and risks posed by Zero Sail. Despite that, you're doing your utmost to remain calm and collected. Truly keeping a stiff upper lip, as they say, commendable. You must have hit rock bottom quite a few times in your life. Perhaps you're accustomed to being in dire predicaments at this point. I'm accustomed to nothing of the sort. I've never once crossed the finish line in last place. I'll have cross the finish line in last place. I've never heard an expression like that before. Well, of course you haven't. Once you get to be a man of my caliber, Miss Smash, even the expressions you use take on special life of their own. First time he's ever addressed me so respectfully. Holmes' way of complimenting you. Think so too. Mr. Holmes only ever speaks about what he is certain of, after all. Got that right. That's a hell of a nice way to put it, Mash. I see. That's what that was about. If you both say so, you may be right. Oh. Ahem. By the way, technical advisor, what's our itinerary for the voyage look like? Huh? That's literally me, huh? Director Gorodolph, Da Vinci just briefed us about that right after we arrived in void space. Maybe you blacked out after we started the zero sail. Oh. Sorry, Mr. Gorodolph. We had no idea you lost consciousness with your eyes open. What? Come now. Don't be absurd. I've handled the G-forces from accelerating to over 250 kilometers per hour, I'll have you know. I say, what about you, youngster? Yes, you, Ren. Paolo said you frequently fall into REM sleep. I believe it even said you could do it standing up, if I'm not mistaken. Is that some special skill of yours? That's right. Call it the REM sleep. We call it the REM sleep. Wait. We call it the REM. This is so hard to say for me. Why? REM. Call it the REM. No way. I was just kidding about the skill part. You people alright? REM. At any rate, it seems you doze off just as easily as I do. Do you remember what the briefing was about? Perhaps now would be a good time to review all that you know while you are at it. It's a good point. I'm sorry. Oh, but as for Senpai, I think he went off to have lunch with Foe after we left on the zero sail. You're the man, Da Vinci. Would you be so kind as to summarize our current situation for him? Sure, if that's what he wants. Okay, let's go over to our immediate itinerary again. Somehow we saved all of humanity, right? Plot armor. We just entered the Scandinavian peninsula, right around here. At the moment, we're still diving through the storm wall. And on our current route, we should then emerge here in northern Europe, at the southern part of Sweden. It's only a 10-kilometer trip. Since we don't have any connection to Scandinavia, surfacing at our intended destination will come to a combination of dice roll and navigational genius. Since I got my hands full of making sure our coordinates don't go fluctuating all over, we have no way of knowing if there will be any hostile entities on the other side. Be ready for an even rougher emergence than the one we went through. In other words, entering one of these lost belts inevitably comes down to the luck of the draw, eh? Just make doubly sure. Is there any way we could ignore the Scandinavian lost belt and head straight to the north? Certain conditions need to be placed for us to emerge inside a lost belt, right? I go out of our way to do that. Even if we don't know the Wandering Sea's exact coordinates, if we can just get to the north. I know. But I'm afraid that's just not possible. We're currently skimming right next to the border between reality space and void. It's the only way we can peek into reality from void space, which we have to do if we're going to emerge somewhere we lack a connection. In addition, the amount of power the shadow border consumes in this mode is directly affected by the amount of real-world distance we travel. I mean, it would have to be, given that we're following reality so closely. Our current power level, no way the border can zero sail more than 300 kilometers near the mirror world plane. So we have to emerge in the Scandinavian Lost Belt if we're going to stock up for the journey into the Wandering Sea. I see. Zero sail business sounds good on paper. Certainly has more than its share of drawbacks, doesn't it? Basically, if we want to go diving and emerging wherever we like, Yes. Well, we can't. Neither the border nor myself are up to that. At least not right now. Sorry, Gordy. Sorry, and 6 pence won't even get you a decent cup of tea these days. Fine. Saying you want a real lab with full facility. Once we make our way through Scandinavia and meet up with the Wandering Sea, things should improve at least a little, yes? You got it. I'm glad you're such a quick study. So as I was saying earlier, just kick back and enjoy the last bit of our voyage. Currently off from real-world time by about 10 days. We'll emerge from void space as soon as we're through the storm wall. So it's just like what happened in Russia. Then that would mean one of those enormous trees really is here in Scandinavia too. Indeed. We could see it for ourselves before we began our journey through the storm wall. If we just so happen to emerge near the Tree of Emptiness, we will need to choose between leaving Scandinavia behind or investigating the tree. Regardless, we'll no doubt need to make our way across a considerable bit of land once we reach the inside of this Lostbelt. I encourage you all to remain calm and in control so that we may better react to whatever awaits us. Although, when the Russian Tree of Emptiness came crashing down, it did so in a rather indecipherable... What was that? Something coming towards us. Something's pinging our omnidirectional sonar. What the? There's something with a fixed wavelength moving around. Something with a fixed wavelength? Do you mean there's something else here besides the shadow border? Wait, what? Hold on. Just hold on. You mean to tell me there's something alive out there in void space? Oh. Indeed. Under normal circumstances, nothing could possibly exist in void space, unless it were itself composed of void. There are exceptions, though. Namely, the all-terrain void transport shadow border, its crew, and the paper moon. That could only mean someone or something else that can travel via zero sail. If there were, it would require technology that surpasses Atlas's. I wish I could say that were entirely impossible, but we can't rule it out. Da Vinci, are you seeing anything on your end? Your eyes should be a good deal sharper than ours. Sorry, got my hands full keeping track of the real world's terrain. Can't spare any cameras to see what might be near us. Oh, but I have noticed one thing that's strange. The shadow border's been running really smoothly for a while now. There's definitely... Whoa, what? That's spaced oddly. There's definitely something out there in our vicinity. Just couldn't tell you what it is. The border has also got Magecraft and Spirit radars in addition to the sonar, but they're not turning anything up either. Since I can't imagine there could be anything living in void space, I'm guessing it's using solution-like wave conduction, but... Director Gordolf. We're under attack! Oh, who was it that was saying the old man has gotten used to this stuff? Must be some sort of monster or a servant with the ability to zero sail. They could be anywhere. Yes, that's a distinct possibility. Rasputin mentioned something along those lines too. As I recall, he said that while he was unable to freely move between Lostbelts, Koyanskaya could do so. It's difficult to imagine she employs the same method that we do, but she may well have her own means of crossing dimensions. There, you see? You all saw Ivan the Terrible for yourselves. These Lostbelts are obviously full of monsters. Wouldn't surprise me at all if one of them was a rider with just that sort of skill. Even hear yourself. This is void space. This whole dimension shouldn't even exist. There's no way there could be anything here besides the border. No, Miss Miyamoto wanders between parallel worlds, only in that she tumbles from one to another. She's only a drifter. Keeps falling through realities because all other possibilities have abandoned her. There's no being in all of reality space besides us who can freely travel. That, at least, was what the Atlas Institute's Trismegistus said as of 2018. Still, it's not something we can rule out entirely. That we are here ourselves mean it must be possible for someone else to be as well. Couldn't you have kept that to yourself, Holmes? You're just gonna work the old man up even more. Foe? You just get even closer. Please calm down, Director. I know this may not help put your mind at ease, but I think I sense something close. What is it? No, I don't think so. But strangely enough, I also don't think that whatever it is malicious. In fact, I think it might even be a kind of warm and comforting. Oh, come now. That's standard demon operating procedure. They bait their hook with kindness. I'm not falling for it. I'm going to listen to my own. Listen up, all of you. I have no desire to become an adventure-crazed nut like the rest of you, but even I can see that making an emergency exit out of the void space is our best option here. Therefore, as the director of Chaldea, I am ordering the Shadow Border to make an immediate emergency exit into reality space. An emergency exit? I want to take Mash's side here, but I have to admit, Gordolf has a point. One thing's for sure, there's something out there that even I can't see. We shouldn't take that lightly. So my vote is for the emergency exit, and as luck would have it, we're very close to the end of the storm wall. That said, there's one thing I want to go over first. We've already crossed the border. We're currently in what used to be southern Sweden, somewhere inside the Scandinavian Lostbelt. When we emerge, the risks will be even greater than they were back in Russia. Cutting out the future predictions in order to force our way back into reality could result in the entire Shadow Border coming apart. It's not just the border, all of you could end up seriously hurt as well. If your selves from 10 days ago happen to overlap with your selves from now, just having your bodies catch up with their own regulatory functions will be enough to make you vomit. Are you okay if that ends up happening? Of course, as this vehicle's central processing unit, I'll be doing my best to avoid that. Of course, at this point, a little nausea is nothing. Just get us the hell out of here, Da Vinci. I don't want to spend another second with this unknown thing if I can help it. I'm responsible for all your lives here. As such, I refuse to continue a voyage in such close proximity to an unknown entity. Get the Shadow Border to the surface right now. Don't make me repeat myself again, just hurry. Alrighty, you ready to face the music? I'll do my best to make sure it's a pleasant tune. Monier, I'm going to switch over to manual. We don't want the safety functions putting on the brakes on idle pilot. Are you serious? Doesn't that completely go against the manufacturer's recommendation? Initiating high-speed calculations, preparing to emerge. Emergency alert. Everyone strap in, take deep breaths while you still can. Don't worry about the alert. We're just putting a little more strain on the hull than it's designed for. Isn't that incredibly dangerous? And she knows what she's doing. Right. You're right, I believe in her. Phew. I really didn't want to resort to this, since it gives me a bad fever. This new, smaller body just isn't as resilient as my old one. I'll do whatever I can to help. Patch me to the console if you would. I'll help too. Thank you. I'm afraid I am relegated to learning by observation myself, but the more hands the better. If only Mr. Babbage were here to assist us. I hear you. But I'm afraid the Spirit Origin briefcase alone just isn't enough to summon him outside of short battles. We'll just have to make do. Man, wouldn't it be great if another Celieri dropped into our laps right now? Like say now. Damn it, it didn't work. Well, worth a shot. Guess we're on our own after all. Alright, let's do this thing. Activating Paper Moon. Starting up now. Engaging. Though the stratum may dissolve, I continue to exist. Reapplying time flow extraction from reality space. 0.4 second difference between target coordinates. Confirm. Good to go. Emerging from void space, 30 seconds. 0 cell complete, emerging into reality. Dun dun. Ooh. Eternal icy fire century. It fell of everlasting flame. A landing point. Assault of the demonic sword. Weaponry, everything's good to go. Armor shield is ready to deploy. Going up to this mesh. Yes, all my readings and transformations are working well. What's up? Thought you'd be ejecting me again. Hammer and model both seem very different. Well, sure. Last time we were sending you into the thick of an ongoing battle. This time we're just having you check out our surroundings. Besides, Master's coming along with you. We can't go shooting you both out now, can we? Ah. Right, good point. Forgot that Senpai will be joining me. Try this again. Are you all set? Yes, armored shielder ready to deploy. Got it. Shadow boarder, open the hatch. We're good for our recon mission. Senpai. How are you feeling? Don't worry, I'm feeling fine. And Ortonax is in great shape too. Really is a genius. Even after all that intense fighting we did in Russia, still in perfect working order. Thanks to that, I should be able to use all my power at any time. All that aside, this place is very snowy, isn't it, Senpai? It's 3 degrees Celsius, but the wind isn't cold at all. Air feels crisp and clean. Feels like a real winter wonderland compared to Russia. I'm sure the temperature will drop to well below zero once night falls. Right now, I'm just enjoying how peaceful it is. Really romantic. Ooh la la. I agree. I was just thinking the same thing. Still don't know exactly what this Lostbelt is like. At least this place seems quite peaceful. Enough to make me hope that maybe not every Lostbelt is dangerous. This really isn't the time to wax philosophical. Let's get started, Master. Perimeter check time. Right, let's start by looking for some sort of hill, so we can get a better view of our surroundings. The border is recharging for now, while it stays camouflaged in the snow. Da Vinci said it would take about 3 hours for it to charge up completely, so let's do our best to explore as much as we can in that time. We've reached the top of that hill. Nothing but snowy fields as far as I can see. And then there's... Senpai, look. Pretty. Look at that. It's a white mountain range stretching on forever. I think they're made of ice and snow. There's some sort of blue haze to the north, about halfway along the range. What is that? Blue Kool-Aid. Flames. Yes, there's fire burning in parts without trees. Can't see such a thing happening naturally. There must be some sort of magecraft at work. Hey, what's up, Namolia? It's been a while. That's what this Lostbelt is. A world of mountains, white ice, and blue flame. Then there's the sun. It's much too big to be the sun, though. This doesn't add up. I've heard parts of Scandinavia can get almost no sunlight for months at a time. Never seen anything about the sun being the size. I doubt any such records even exist. Sun, huh? dot dot dot. Another thing, I don't see the tree of emptiness anywhere. Saw it before we went into the storm. Really visible from the outside. Can't imagine it was suddenly wiped from existence, so maybe it's being hidden with magecraft. Thank you, thank you. Well done on the reconnaissance, you two. Finally had a moment to catch our breath here. Holmes. Seems you're about 500 meters away. Well chosen. Just about the perfect distance since we're still unable to detect hostile entities. Thankfully, our emergence didn't strain the border as much as we anticipated. Afraid it's still not going anywhere for the time being. Still, we cannot afford to waste any time, which is of course why we sent the pair of you out to investigate. The land of fire and ice, huh? Seems that this Lostbelt will present its own challenges as that's all we can see from here. Thank you for the same. We have a faint visual here as well. The sun does appear to be far larger than is normal, but it should be tens of billions of years before it reaches this size. Still don't understand how drastically a Lostbelt can change its environment, but if this one has transformed our sun into a red giant. If that the case, forget the ice and snow, the whole world would be a scorched desert. Light may be able to survive such an environment, Ren most assuredly would not. Yeah, when I read a lot, it puts strain on my throat and I end up coughing a lot. But yeah, I'm all good. Which means, it may not actually be our sun. So it may well be something that looks like the sun, but in fact is not. I don't recall anything along those lines in Scandinavia or Germanic folklore. I'll take another look just in case. So flames don't look like your typical forest fire. That would be because they aren't. Take a look. Yeah. Nothing is actually burning. I'm not sure how it works, but the fire appears to be something entirely separate and floating above the mountains. Mysterious to be sure. There is little cause to doubt this phenomenon is the result of some form of... Whatever it is, it must be the work of a cryptor or a Lostbelt servant. That I can say for certain. Assuming it's a Lostbelt servant. Mr. Holmes really did hit the nail on the head, senpai. Well, of course he did. He's famous for always finding the truth of any situation right away. Of course, for captivating readers with his brilliant and elegant deductions. Ha ha ha, thank you, Miss Light. Though I must admit it is a touch embarrassing to be so effusively praised for the novelizations of my cases. But perhaps that's not so bad every once in a while. I'm not usually one to skip right to the conclusion, but yes, I'm quite certain that there is one who created the flames is... What is it? Do calm yourself, foe. What is it? Is something wrong? Master, get behind me. We've just discovered an enormous humanoid creature. An enormous humanoid creature, you say? See, that is troubling. Much troubling indeed. He appears to be 5 meters tall. His arms are also very long. He's wearing some sort of mask. I think he's speaking a language of some kind, but... Can't make out what he's saying. Sounds more like an animal howling than any language I know of. Hello? Bonjour? Guten Tag? Ni hao? Konnichiwa? Please listen to me. We are not your enemy. We don't mean you any harm. We are... No use. Master, I'm afraid he's coming right at us. He's about to attack. I'll back you up. Understood. Moving to intercept the hostile. Alrighty. Do this. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
That was Lostbelt too.
Starting a fight with a Jotun.
Oh, good luck, man. I'm sad.
Why?
I died.
F. Hey, Molly is here. You wanna say hi?
Oh,
Yo.
Molly, welcome back. I haven't seen you in a chat in a while.
Yeah.
Hey, did you go pro Valorant? And that's why she hasn't been to she's been pro in Valorant.
Big boy, good luck. Thank you.
I still need my parking, bro.
Same.
Laps and free parking.
Hey. Yeah. So do you not have to pay?
Nope.
Bruh.
You shouldn't have to pay depending on where you know.
I'm gonna park in your camp and walk to my camp.
We just get a sticker you put on our car and it's like, alright, free parking, here you go.
I gotta pay $144 for the cheapest one, man.
Well, I did get this, so not what I was looking for. I'll take it.
Monday's gonna be pain.
Why?
8 o'clock in the morning. One for my first class. Like the thing is, my class is not that long. It's just like you get it early.
Can't leave.
Like Mine starts on the 25th, which is Wednesday.
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 Goodness.
Someone just get home. No?
Alright. Sick. Got a class. So on Monday I've got
Oh yes, C4 launching.
Yes.
I got a class from 11 to 10:50. Or 10 to 10:50.
11 to 10:50. Wait a minute.
It's a 24-hour class. Baby.
No, you reverse time.
So- Oh, my game crashed. Thanks, Evil Lilith. You're the best. I do not want to open Valorant. I clicked the wrong game.
Too late. You're going to Valorant.
No.
That's like the equivalent of you going to Brazil. You're too late.
Not task manager has anything to say about it, and it does.
You know what? Since I'm going back to camp, I gotta update Genshin on my laptop now.
So you can play it in class.
I gotta update like half of my games on my laptop. I gotta update Valorant. I gotta update like Steam stuff and all of this. I gotta
They want to update all that.
You know, I'm really good on Genshin. See what other games are down on Steam. My Genshin like a version of Genshin is like 1.1. It's the beginning of the year, nothing yet.
There we go. Assassin. The battle is over. We've neutralized the threat. Let's head back. Thank you for your concern, but I'm alright. The sudden attack just had me a little out of breath is all. It's nothing to worry about. All my vital signs are fine. I'm still good to go. Doing my best to analyze the recording and battle data now, but at this point, I can only say that the creatures you fought is nothing like we've seen. Neither a heroic spirit nor demonic beasts. It was simply an enormous humanoid creature native to Scandinavia, one that could not possibly exist in the 21st century. A giant. Did you say a giant? Yes. I read that a number of powerful giants used to live in Scandinavia. Of course, this was all a long time ago. In the modern era, there have barely been any giant sightings in Sweden, Denmark, or Norway. I believe most of them were during the Age of Gods, back when the old mystics still existed. I'm sure there are some exceptions, but even so, to encounter one out of nowhere like this, both Gordadolf and Mr. Meunier are in something of a tizzy about this impossible encounter, but yes, in the year 2020, giants have long ceased to exist. And yet, you've obviously just met one, albeit one that tried to kill you even after you attempted to communicate with him, but still. I had a glimpse of his eyes behind his mask, and he seemed consumed by bloodlust. So in this version of Scandinavia, creatures from the Age of Gods still live. That is much troubling. I considered the possibility, but I didn't think it would prove to be too soon. Wait. Damn you, cryptors. Damn you for throwing something like this at us, and only the second Lostbelt, having no sense of restraint. That said, we are far from completely helpless. Miss Curiolite, Mr. Wren. Again, I've updated our database with everything I could determine about this creature. We are unable to detect it from the border because Chaldea has no information about ancient giants. Furthermore, I also learned something rather unexpected from the ice and snow surrounding us. What about them? They are imbued with a faint magical energy. The trace is so minute that only an expert mage would even be able to detect it. A small amount of magical energy created enough interference in our equipment that we were unable to detect the giant's approach. Da Vinci is still quite upset about it. She says being plugged in to function as a bio unit dulls her senses. Nonetheless, I'll do my best to update our data immediately. I'm also sending an update for the Ortonax's firmware. Right, confirming update now. Master, picking up new hostiles in our periphery. There's at least several ice beasts traveling alongside another giant. Make a break for the border. Understood. Too late. You can see them up ahead, Master. In the fight, then. I'm.
What are your cards?
What are the cards? I draw.
What card? You
Oh,
have
look. I got all the cards I need.
Draw from?
Didn't that pretty much happen in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime? He drew like all the cards he needed.
I really don't know.
Pretty sure he did every time. He's like, oh, I need this. Oh, I need this. Hey, I win. This card is useless.
Bro, it's just a leg.
I'll smack you with this leg. Yu-Gi-Oh? Yeah.
Bro, I'm just gonna summon my Egyptian god, all three of them.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll wait for you.
I shall allow it.
Once.
Place my first card.
Your first card's all exotic. Alright. I need to rewatch it, actually. I need to rewatch all of them. And learn how to play again.
I think I've never seen it.
If you get the game
Huh? No, I don't have it.
play it.
I have no idea how to play it. I've never seen Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know what to do. I kind of know how to play, but I think I kind of know how to play, but the thing I don't know how to build a deck. I cannot build a deck. I was like, this card looks good, cool, and then like half it doesn't even work for each other. Like I was like, oh, this card looks cool, and I use it. Like, wait, you can't use it. It applies to that card, like you can't use it, so it's like completely garbage.
Oh, crit Sag. Where there is 0 cards for okay. I got 0 cards for Hokusai in the past 2 turns.
That's RNG, Brendan.
Like an NP.
Like you cannot get more RNG than that. Right? That's legit RNG. The game.
Wong. Bong.
Vinland Saga emblem.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to repair, man. Can I repair?
No.
固く縛るわ。
Mm.
ストーンときたよ。
Go with that.
やるわ。
Ah, so close.
固く縛るわ。
Smash, smash.
Mm-hmm.
ならよかった。まだまだ気をつけていきましょう。
1 second. There we go. Should wrap things up for now. Defeated another giant and several ice beasts. I no longer detect any hostiles or magical energy signals in our vicinity. Ah. Well, you're right, Mr. Holmes. I can sense faint magical energy around us, coming from the snow. Maybe, could be a servant. Not sure. That certainly seems possible. Let's hash. Oh, let's hash that stuff out later, you two. For now, you should hurry back to the border. Holmes, from now on, maybe start waiting until people are in a safe location before you start with your long-winded explanations. There's no guarantee there aren't other giants still lying in wait out there. Both of you, get your butts back here and be careful. Anyway, great job. I said gob. Great job collecting all this data right after we emerge. This should be a big help. Oh good, you're back. Welcome home, you two. It's good to be back. The Ortonax is working wonderfully. Thank you again for that. Glad to hear it. Borodolph's having a little rest. Said he was having a nervous breakdown or something. I guess the emergency exit was pretty hard on him. Guess all the worrying he did about scouting out our surroundings after we merged was for nothing. I wouldn't say that. He's trying to keep us safe in his own way. Naturally, his primary concern is his own survival. That's still an important part of being a leader. When things get dangerous, you snap to attention. When things get dicey, you get right the hell out. That's how things are supposed to go, but the further removed the higher-ups get from the action, the softer they get when it comes to making those calls. So in that sense, Director Goldorf is exceedingly good at his job. I'm not sure why, but he seems to treat any danger his field operatives are in as danger to his own life. Wonder what that's all about. Maybe he had a really strict tutor growing up or something. You know, like someone teaching him to think about war from the perspective of the people he's sending out onto the battlefield. Oh yeah, see what you mean. That'll definitely explain some things. Now that you mention it, he always looked like he was in a lot of pain whenever Ren was in a tight spot back in Russia. Talk about empathy. No wonder he always kicked up such a fuss. At any rate, make sure you write up the recon findings in a nice report template when you hand it off to him. If you don't mind, that ought to be more than enough to keep old Gordy in the loop. On a different note, you guys really had a rough time out there, didn't you, huh? Something real quick? Yes, we did. Giants are beings from the Age of Gods. Not even mages have seen more than the occasional fossil of them. Any survivors in areas where mystics were still in full force were probably seen as threats and taken out by the heroes in their respective ages. You're certainly not something you'd run into every day. I mean, you guys didn't see hide nor hair of them in any of the 7 eras you race shifted to, right? What? Not even in the actual Age of Gods. And now we just happen to run into one. Not one, but 2 in modern day Scandinavia. I am struggling to read, I don't know why. I believe those giants you encountered were Jotnar, members of the Jotun race of giants. In the Age of Gods, the Norse world was composed of 9 realms. One such realm was Muspelheim, the land of flame. Another was Niflheim, the land of ice, through which an icy river of poison flowed. When these 2 realms collided, the poisonous frost melted. Then, when it was exposed to Muspelheim's heat, grew into a tremendous giant. This was Ymir, said to be the ancestor of all Norse giants. The race of giants that went on to spring forth from Ymir's body were called Jotun, the frost giants. Giants were truly beings belonging to an era when gods walked the earth. At times, the Jotnar would mix with the Norse gods, giving birth to new gods and giants alike. It said that the surviving Jotnar eventually fell out of mythology and went on to become trolls. What you 2 saw today were no trolls. They were most definitely Jotnar. Oh. What a lot about giants, Holmes. Haha, well, I am Sherlock Holmes, you realize? I am the one who finds the truth, regardless of my spirit origin. I believe I said as much when I introduced myself. Yeah, we're good. No, sorry. I'm just having you on a bit. See, the paper moon is not the only thing I picked up while I was visiting the Atlas Institute. Try Hermes. Precisely. While there, I came in contact with the pseudo-spiritron calculation engine Hermes. When I did so, I happened to pursue some secret medical data pertaining to giants. Now I see, Holmes, you rascal. Ha ha ha. I don't see what's so funny. Don't you ha 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 me, Buster. You're supposed to tell me things before I need to know them. It's not fair that you get to do all the fun exposition. Besides, we're a team. You know we should be pooling our knowledge and stuff. I'll take that under advisement, especially considering it comes from none other than the great Leonardo da Vinci herself. All that said, I could certainly use a bit more information myself. Is this simply a Norse Lostbelt where a once-lost race of giants still runs amok? No, I very much doubt that is all there is to it. Right, the ones you saw today were powerful beings and mystics, but they were still living creatures. If nothing else, I can say for sure that the beings we encountered weren't servants. Correct. They were indeed absolutely not servants. Based on what we know from Russia, we can assume there is a being here who rules over this Lostbelt, and a cryptor who tends to the Tree of Emptiness. While our primary concern is with the latter, there remains a strong possibility that we will come into conflict with the former as well. That said, our goal this time does not include engaging them in battle. Our intent is to cross Scandinavia without them ever knowing we were here. Yep, exactly. Still, we should really take a little break from first, don't you think? Thankfully, there's a lot more magical energy concentrated here than there was in Russia, so the border shouldn't have any problem. I'll set off again in a little while. Make sure you two rest up while you can. Hiking across snowy mountains does a real number on your legs and back, you know? I very much recommend getting those kinks ironed out while you can. Right. First, I almost forgot, Mr. Holmes. Yes? Sorry. Back when we had just looked over the mountain range, remember how you and Senpai were talking? At the time, there was something else we wanted to talk about. Oh, right. Yes, the strange fire that kept burning without spreading. Do you know what it is, Mr. Holmes? Can't say I know for certain. I only have a hypothesis, albeit one in which I am quite confident. What does albeit mean again? Hold on. I'm stupid. Albeit meaning although. I have a hypothesis, although one in which I'm quite confident. Okay. Knowledge. I suppose that would make this more of an induction than a deduction. At any rate, yes, that fire is none other than... Every time we get close to him explaining something, something happens. Another alert. Fo. What the hell? Are our sensors busted? Crap, no, it's worse. They're working perfectly. Ren, Holmes, a freaking enormous magical energy signal just popped up near us out of nowhere. Like a magical reactor core. Monsters on par with the Angraboda powered by the Greater Grail we saw in London. Eh? One SQ. String. Hey, what's up, Rose? Assault of the Demonic Sword. Question mark. Oh, great. Let me look this up. LB2 Section 2 FGO. Gatter Damenrung. How you doing, Rose? Alright. Saber. Okay. Fighting a saber. Let's go against saber. Archer. We can try Gilgamesh. See how this goes. Section 2, Assault of the Sword End. Been good, you know? Playing lots of Apex and grinding embers. Nice. Been grinding out these Lostbelts. Damn it, we had no warning whatsoever. The thing just appeared out of nowhere. Most likely a servant. They may have been using their spirit form. Ah, that's true. A servant could sneak up like that. Mr. Monier, is that servant from proper human history? Or maybe. Spirit origin pattern matches what's registered in Chaldea, but their color seems like it might be a little different. I don't know. All I can say for sure is that they're hostile. At least that massively powerful curse packed into the magical energy they've got aimed right at us is anything to go by, they are. A Lostbelt servant. You're gonna grow your Tomoe and Summer Okida to level 90. Hey, nice. The Border Spirit Radar is one of the most sensitive in the world. If it failed to detect this servant until now, they're probably getting some help with their presence concealment. Had they wished to do so, I had no doubt they could have gotten much closer. And yet, they instead chose to release their spirit form right in front of us, making their presence known. Working through interludes while they're half off? Yeah, nice. Say, right when that happened, I did all the interludes, but I only had 2, so... Yeah. All I had was Uriel and Ushi. And so, I'm all caught up. Oh well, nothing I can do. They must be incredibly confident, or perhaps incredibly cruel. Mr. Monier, can you put them up on the monitor? No, I can't. They're right in our blind spot. How the hell can you all be so calm about this anyway? I know we can't exactly put the Border's pedal to the metal right now, but still. What do? Do we tell the rest of the staff about this? Most of them are still on break. For that matter, don't you think we should get going already, Da Vinci? Not just yet. This servant may still be trying to figure out where we are. No doubt they are aware we are nearby, but I believe they are unable to detect our exact location. That said, the longer we stay, the greater our chances of being discovered. As good as the Border's camouflage is, it does not render us invisible. It is good at keeping its magical energy hidden, but that doesn't help if someone starts searching the old-fashioned. Well, Holmes, Ren, what do you want to do? We keep quiet and hope they don't find us. Can't let them get into the border. Indeed not. Allowing an intruder on board would be the worst possible scenario by far. None of the staff are fighters, after all. The moment an enemy gets inside is the moment our little adventure comes to an abrupt end. Mr. Meunier, what is the latest on our mysterious foe? Have they moved at all since appearing? No. No, they haven't moved a muscle since they showed up. But I still can't see anything on the monitor. They're right in the middle of our blind spot. It seems they're waiting to see how we react. Bold, yet with a touch of caution. Vinci, I'd like you to start up the border's engine the moment we step outside. Make sure it's ready to depart at any time. Got it. Make sure you buy us enough time for it to warm up, okay? Well aware. Now, shall we be on our way, Miss Carrie-Light and Mr. Wren? Given that we're the only ones here capable of fighting, it must fall to us to greet any hostile or boorish guests. Right. I've got my exoskeleton ready to go, so I can activate it at a moment's notice. As long as it's just for a few minutes, I should be able to fight. I'm all set. Senpai. Make an emergency dive. I will not have you going out to face an unknown and extremely powerful foe. I absolutely forbid it. Emergency dive is the only viable option. Director Gorodov, you're awake now. Of course I'm awake, and I overheard your entire conversation. A situation like this calls for a retreat. Not meeting the enemy on their own terms. Traversing this Lostbelt to make a getaway is out of the question as well. Enemy has found us out. First order of business is a hide again. That means a zero sail. They'll never find us once we dive back into void space. We can make a clean getaway. That's true. If safety is our top priority, that's definitely an option. We'd have to figure out how to get back to reality once we set sail, but it would give us a secure way out of this particular predicament. That said, are you sure about this? Still haven't finished reapplying the logic formula. There's a non-zero chance that our armor just comes off in void space and we end up adrift there forever. The odds of that happening are maybe 0.003%. That's nothing. I've never even come close to winning a race on my own vehicle with odds like that. At any rate, given that our only master is still unable to summon servants, fighting one this powerful is out of the question. Need I remind you the sort of enemies we faced back in Russia? These Lostbelt servants are tremendously powerful. I learned that lesson all too well when one of them destroyed Chaldea. Just because the girl is able to fight now doesn't mean you should run to battle at every chance you get. As commander, I'll support whatever option I feel offers the best chance of survival, no matter how slight the difference. In fact, this is an order. As my advisors, it's your job to justify my decisions, not mine. Let's not forget our biggest concern here. We don't even know who this mysterious, probably Lostbelt servant even is. In which case, the only option I will even consider is for us to make our escape. You never waver when it comes to keeping us alive, huh? Alright, I'll trust your instincts here. Sorry Holmes, sorry Ren. Servant outside is so strong that I'm taking this ship back to void space. I'm not saying you wouldn't survive the encounter with whoever it is out there, it's that it'd get real ugly real fast. Fight ended up damaging the border as well. That'd be bad news for us all. We're doing another zero sail. Still, if that means Mash and Ren can avoid this fight, I guess it's for the best. Right, you take the wheel, Meunier. I'm gonna head back to the computer room and plug it into the border. Holmes, I'm leaving this place in your hands, while I go verify our existences as perfectly as ever. Change of plan. Right, I'll go along with whatever you decide. Here we go again. Has it ever once been occurred to you to obey your commander? At least now we're all discussing our opinions. The big step up from how things were before. You should be proud of inspiring this change. I can tell you're just buttering me up, Meunier. At any rate, let's get the zero sail started before the servant makes a move. That's Shannon synced up. All hands be seated. Need to remind you, do not forget your seatbelts. Ho ho ho. We're going. We dive in, make the rest as we go along. Blah 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 blah. Good. Looks like I make it just in time. Let me take over the wheel. Chemonier, in the meantime, would you be so kind as to keep your eyes on the sensors? You got it. Let's go. Oh, that didn't work. Senpai, I still have a sensation in my extremities. I can still feel normal gravity. Feels like something dragged us up. What's going on? This isn't void space. Did we fail to dive? Are we stuck in reality? They got us good. Whoever's out there sensed our spell is going off and caught us in a split second. They're physically holding us back. I'm impressed. Just our physical strength exceeds the border's maximum output. Did you say physical strength? The magical energy signal is getting stronger. Wait, hang on. The servants literally grabbed hold of the border. Oh dang. What the? Are we floating? Do not remove your seatbelts. All hands assume crash positions. You gonna throw us? Oh dang. Savage. He said, where you going? Whoa. What happened? I don't understand. So dizzy. Is everyone alright? You hurt, senpai? Fine. Goodness. He's picked us up. Yes, I felt the same thing. It was as though the shadow border was picked up and then flung somewhere far away. Precisely what happened. The hostile servant stopped our zero sail in its tracks before simply tossing us like a baseball. That is truly incredible strength. Perhaps they're a berserker. Whatever their class, they clearly possess immense strength to perform such a feat. I expect they are a rather combat-oriented servant, probably be focusing on being the front lines, but... Attention please. I'm afraid that crash completely shut down all of our navigation systems. We can try to bypass damaged systems, even that's going to take some time. And there's all the damage to the suspension. We didn't end up completely upside down, but we're still not going anywhere anytime soon. Sorry everyone, we can't dive or run away on land anymore. You have nothing to apologize for. The fault lies within our uninvited guests, not you. We're out of options? This is bad. Damn right it is. Magical energy signal incoming. You can tell this heroic spirit is some kind of big shot. Pretty sure they're done waiting around, since they're headed straight for us. 100 meters, 50, now they're right on top of us. OQ. Magical energy signature that I'm pretty sure is a servant has collided with our exterior. It's melting our external armor now. What kind of barbarian are they? It sounds like they're trying to cut their way through our defenses. Should probably step out so they don't do that. Did they realize how much time I spent reinforcing this armor? There's no way anything should be able to break through it that easily. I mean, the old me spent a ton of time making sure of that. What kind of weapon or noble phantasm do they have that could possibly do this? Senpai. Let's go, Mash. Hold it, you two. Don't you think we should wait a bit and see what's happening before you... We don't have time to wait. I'm sorry, but it's all up to you two now. Holmes, you go with them too. But watch out, that servant's magical energy is right there with Ivan's. Make sure you don't hold anything back, or you might not be coming back at all. Got it? I'm well aware. I saw their spirit origin for myself earlier. Nothing else, I can promise this. I will keep Mr. Wren alive. In the meantime, Da Vinci, please focus on keeping yourself and the border safe, and getting us up and running as quickly as possible. Oh, dang. I've opened the hatch. I can confirm the hostile servant is on the border's port side. Step away from there right now. Oh. Is that Sigurd? Well now. So that unsightly slab is this thing's door then. Is that a Lostbelt servant? Then what's this ominous feeling I'm sensing from their spirit origin? Oh, a human and two heroic spirits. Oh, wait. Neither of you are pure heroic spirits, are you? You both got something else mixed in. Hybrids, then? Interesting. Hostile servant is closing in. Now I see. You certainly do appear to be a powerful heroic spirit. The border's external armor is one thing, but to think you even cut your way down to the multi-layered bounded field surrounding the inner hull. Back at Chaldea, Da Vinci, Nitocris, Paracelsus, Paracelsus and all Paracelsus all worked to ensure those bounded fields would be as strong as any from the age of gods. They should have been as strong as a fortress made of divine iron, but you cut through them like so much butter without even revealing a true. Fascinating. How did such a powerful demonic sword possibly come to be? Ah, it's Sigurd. Are his eyes glowing red? I was right. It's a demonic sword then. I thought it seemed far too dark to be a sacred sword. I don't talk to humans. Well, no. He hit so hard. He's still only using that short sword as his waist. This must be the incredible strength that let him pick up the border up and just throw it. You're not getting past me. Ash. I'm alright, I can do this. I'm afraid those were little more than jabs as far as he was concerned, Miss Curiolite, though I am certain that is not how it felt to you. Have you lost your mind, girl? Why are you still standing there? You should be throwing down that impenetrable shield of yours and running for all you're worth by now. You don't look like enough of an idiot to fail to see how outmatched you are. I will endure if I have to. I can't let everything end here. Oh, not again. You shouldn't be here. You need to get back inside the border. Thank you for worrying about me. My servant is truly incredibly strong, much stronger than me and the Orthonex. Something about him reminds me of another hero, another heroic spirit we've met. I don't know if I can beat him, even with Holmes' help, but still. That doesn't matter. Even if I'm not strong enough, I can't back down. This journey isn't ours alone, not anymore. Maybe it never was. Just because I may not be up to the task in front of me now doesn't mean I can give up on the journey as a whole. Steel yourself. A journey, huh? Frankly, I don't care what it is, where it is you're going. I have my own destination in mind. I'm afraid this just isn't your lucky day, girl. Or yours, kid, now that our paths have crossed. I'm going to kill you and take your prized treasure with me. Another short sword. Here he comes. I'll back you up as well. Huh. Strange. Alright. H. Be fighting Sigurd.
Hell yeah, good luck, man.
System. All check. 大丈夫ですから。マスター。
Metro. More like hate.
Yeah.
今格好つけてるんだから。いい度胸ね。気に入ったわ。黙ってなさい。舌を噛むわよ。お願い、イスラム隊よ。冥界の守りを知りなさい。これが私の空気がでいる彼ら。 はい、前に出ます。
Dang. Yep. Pretty much one shot at a rush Google, but that makes sense.
Because he's a saber and you're a lancer?
Yeah.
I claymore, man.
Hmm.
宝物庫の鍵を開けてやろうか。水郷よな。裁きの時だ。世界
to finish. Mission complete. Thank you, Holmes. That beam was a big help. No trouble at all, Miss Curilight. I must say, though, you certainly don't hold back. Not to say you're not pulling your punches quite a bit, Lostbelt servant. I don't suppose you would be so kind as to introduce you. I see. Now that I've seen your strength up close, some things have become abundantly clear. Your swordsmanship is exquisite, surely the finest in the Northlands. Also immensely strong, and have both the knowledge and reflexes to dodge my magical energy beam. You knew, didn't you? You knew I was a heroic spirit capable of using magecraft attacks. Your wisdom alone is truly a force to be reckoned with. Which means, you must be the one who slew the evil dragon and consumed his knowledge. Am I wrong? Oh? You are the child of Sigmund, king of Francia, and Hjordis, daughter of King Eulimi. Even among other peerless heroes who stand head and shoulders above ordinary people in strength, intelligence, and all other aspects. You are hailed as the greatest warrior king of them all. A phenomenal swordsman who reforged your father's demonic sword, the one he earned after overcoming Odin's trial of... Yeah. Then you don't mean. You are the fearsome warrior who defeated King Hunding's army, thereby avenging King Sigmund. You are the brave hero who single-handedly slew Fafnir, evil dragon, consumed by greed, who hoarded his riches in the caves of... Yeah. That's a name I can't say, because I have no idea. Nita Her... You are the one who made a loyal friend out of Sleipnir's foe, Grani, who would gladly carry you to the ends of... You are the great hero who ate the dragon's heart, gaining unimaginable power at the wisdom of the gods. Fun fact, Sigurd's strength ranked is A+. How good is that? I'm not sure how good that is. Like, it sounds good, A+, but is there a higher tier than that, or is that the highest? You are the great hero who ate the dragon's heart, gaining unimaginable power and the wisdom of the gods. Your true name is Sigurd. You stand alongside Siegfried as one of the most powerful heroes of all of Norse myth. The Dragon Slayer. However, it raises a number of questions. A true legend you may be, it doesn't explain where your monstrous strength comes from. Grani implementation when? I'm not sure. However, that raises a number of questions. A true legend you may be, doesn't explain where your monstrous strength comes from. More importantly, why do your eyes glow red? Heh. So you're a clever one on the side of a proper human history, Now what then? Same as Heracles. Oh, okay. Now that you know who you're up against, how do you intend to fight him? Sigurd, the great hero of Norse legend. After seeing how fast, sharp, and heavy his blades are, I'm convinced, and those are just his short swords, he still hasn't swung what I believe to be his true blade, the demonic sword Graham, even once. Long red sword. Yes. I suppose it would have seemed that way. I'm afraid, bluntly, he was doing no more than casually parrying our attacks. He has yet to use it offensively. We have not seen what it truly capable of. Wise, enough of your yapping. This pressure is intense. Very power-up spell. Out of my way. Look out, he's going to use Graham. Die, human. No, you don't. He may be a human, but I'm a heroic spirit. One, I might add, who has seen more than his fair share of combat. My apologies, I can't have you using Graham so close. Yeah. Hold up. Oh, shoot. Gah. Guess these so-called heroic spirits are more fragile than I thought. Holmes. Holmes' right arm is gone. I'll let Holmes die. Oh no. Don't tell me he dies. Thank you, senpai. Go after him. Leave me here. Senpai. I missed a code to heal him. Why did you stop him? Please stay still so senpai can. Don't, please. Save as much of your magical energy as you can. Grandma certainly lives up to its reputation, but as you can see, my heart and brain are fine. I may be badly injured, but my spirit core is intact. Still a heroic spirit, remember? It will take a deal more than that to finish me. Phew. I can't very well fail to do my part after your rousing speech, Miss Curiolite. Never mind me, you need to go after him. Remember, he said he was going to take something that lies inside the shadow border. That must be why he attacked us. Whatever it is he's after, we cannot let him have it. Elementary, my dear Miss Curiolite. This light. It's your noble phantasm. Precisely. As you are aware, it provide both you and Mr. Wren with a significant boost in strength. It may not be quite at full capacity, but still be rather potent for anyone attempting to fight in a desperate situation, such as yourselves. In my estimation, Sigurd appears to be a frighteningly unnatural being. Natural? Certain he isn't yet fully acclimated, there's a chance you may still be able to defeat him. You mean? I'm sorry, it's rather hard to explain while I'm sober. I'm afraid I'm having difficulty putting my thoughts in order. Holmes. Vital signs confirmed. He's lost a lot of magical energy. Aside from that, it's just spirit core is still intact. We've got to stop him. Right. So passed out. Gone. This is what a blow from a demonic sword feels like. How truly excruciating. Perhaps it is exacerbated by the fact that I've never experienced such a deep wound before. This is the sort of pain you smiled through, Elena. Who's that? So you're still thinking clearly. Now I feel silly for ever worrying about you. The types, Holmes. Someone will come by to help you out just as soon as I finish evacuating everyone from the rear hatch. Shouldn't it be the other way around? We might not be able to use the border's facilities right now. We should be able to replenish your magical energy. Just hang in there a little longer. At least we know from your battle that this hostile servant isn't here to destroy the border. If we're lucky, he'll leave it mostly intact. Just hold tight for a bit, okay? Understood. Said, I'm afraid mental fortitude can only do so much here. To be honest, I'm in real danger of disappearing. I'm afraid he inscribed a death rune into me, you see? One wrong move and that'll be it for me. Death rune? But there aren't any runes that can kill a heroic spear. Forgot about primordial runes. The ones Odin created that served as a magecraft foundation in the Age of Gods. And you mean? I do indeed. You saw our battle for yourself. Sigurd learned a number of runes from the Allfather's. He must have inscribed it the moment he cut off my right arm. It would seem he truly has it out for me. I'm afraid if I push myself too hard, my spirit core will fail. Happily, I can at least speak as long as I remain still, though the pain is still quite exquisite. Gosh, you really are just hanging on by a thread. Okay, wait a second, I'll be right there. Right. So much I need to tell you, but I'm afraid I keep slipping in and out of consciousness. Finding it difficult to concentrate. For some reason, my thoughts keep turning to the past. Da Vinci, would you give Mr. Gorodolph a message from me? Tell him to stay put, no matter what it takes. A certain Sigurd has no personal interest in humans or heroic spirits. After all, he's... Oh no. Let's do this. Single target. Caught up to the target. He's still somewhere inside the border. He appears to be headed for the cockpit. This is our chance. Right. There's nobody here. No signs of a struggle either. What in the... Must be on the deck. You sure about this, old man? If you give him that, we'll be... Stop that. Shut your mouth before he kills us all. We don't have any other choice. Trust me. This is the paper moon you said you were looking for. Go on, take it. Normally we'd keep it hidden, but you're so strong, I decided to give it to you as a reward. Surprise. You humans are seldom so intelligent. I didn't think you'd give it up so easily. This thing was your lifeline. It may be our lifeline, but you are a threat to our actual lives. That thing certainly won't help fill our bellies. Now go on. You got what you came for, didn't you? You don't have any future business with us, right? Right? Without the paper moon, we're just helpless drifters. At this point, it's only a matter of time until we die out on our... There's no reason for you to soil your hands with the blood of insignificant specks like us, is there? Why? Not just be on your way then. Got a point. The sword wasn't made for cutting up useless meat. Yes, I made it out alive again. I don't think so. You need to give us that compass right now. You're going so well. Have you gone mad picking a fight with a scary knife guy? Oh. Human in the hybrid, huh? You still not see how outclassed you are? You got a little boost from the heroic spirit who doesn't know when he's beaten. Fine. I suppose you're worth killing. You two obviously don't know when to quit either. It wouldn't hurt to put this body through its paces a little more anyway. Give your best shot. I'll humor you and take this at least halfway seriously. Better believe we will. We're not backing down until you leave our ship, one way or another. Are you telling me to leave, huh? Alright, tell me your names. I hear that's what heroes are supposed to do. I'm Match Kirilight. And I'm Ren. Probably forget them shortly. Fine with us. Come on, Master, let's get our paper moon back. Conceit, overconfidence, arrogance, pride. Humans never change, just like gods. Call us whatever you want, you may even be right. But, be that as it may, neither Senpai and I will back down. This time we've got Holmes cheering us on. If anyone's going to back down here, it will be you. Going in for round 2.
Good luck, man.
Hope Holmes doesn't die. Got his arm cut off.
遊びはほどほどに。わかります。ホールドアップ。いい度胸ね。気に入ったわ。ちょっと引っ張らないで。
Haru, Sigurd, yeah.
Nigga's cool. I want him.
いいわ。厳しく言うわ。お願い、ミスラムタイヤ。冥界の守りを知りなさい。これが私の空気がいるからだ。やるのだわ。フリー。
君らが識別
遠慮はしませんとも。ロックオン。
Dang it, my audio is broken.
えっ。死の女神エルシキガルが命じます。
Keep it guided missile.
Brokey.
Yeah, it's hurt now.
Lol.
楽しみです遠慮ロックオンフリー狙い撃ちですエクス
敵味方識別
Doo-doo-doo. What's up, Mordred? How you doing? How you doing?
I have anything that
is-
might do.
No.
I can try the OPQ, see how that turns
楽
out.
しみロックオン
Let's go with that.
Will you farm again?
Use This fight sucks so much.
No NP, so that's cool. Do this. Here, good.
ホールドアップ
Let's go with
ビッグウェイ
that,
ロックオン
that,
お願いしま
and
せんともスイミングの時間です
I think you should wear the same as Archtoria in the surroundings. Wear the swimsuit. Hell yeah. Okay, rip mash. Should do that. And then this. What's that? And boom.
行くわ
So that gives 15 on her buster up. So it won't be enough. Still won't be enough. We'll be at 98. So best thing to do would be this. Just to give it that little boost. There we go. Okay. Now we can do this. Quadruple. But go with this, that, and that.
炎は獣に竜は我が手に鎖を破壊し命の鎖を引きちぎるペルターボルトフォイアンドラーヘ狙い撃ちです
Hopefully that'll finish it.
ラセツとガスは
Hey, battle finish. Go Sigurd, you can do this. You're cheering for the enemy.
Battle for friends.
Here he comes. Why? Gah. Use a command. What if I see you as the enemy? Oh no. Never thought of it like that. Ha! There. Got him. Phew. That blow had all of our magical energy behind it, both mine and Senpai's. Thanks to Holmes' help, I'm sure it was very powerful. It may not have been true for Itsu, but I'm certain you felt it anyway. Your spirit core should be damaged in several places now. Please leave. My spirit core, huh? What about it? Can't see where he... Uh-oh. Ah. Senpai. Exoskeleton's drive is failing. Only got a little magical energy left. No, not yet. Can't afford to fall yet. Senpai? Stop. Don't move. What was that just now? Something only a hybrid could do. Pretty surprised to hear you put all of your magical energy into that attack. Never thought I'd see a hunter be so chatty before they were about to take down their quarry. It's not right. You're not hunters or heroes. Probably not warriors either. Senpai. Come on, move where to next, please. You poor pathetic children. This is an act of mercy. Rejoice. I will behead you with the sword of your own beloved hero. Pitiful humans. Neither you nor the world have any future to look forward to. No, stop. Senpai, please, use another command spell on me. Don't bother. You'll be dead long before you can get the chance to summon your magical energy. Farewell. I have no idea. Let's try that. Sword swung through the air, slicing even the wind. No blood. There was no spray from the neck, no gruesome sound of meat being cleaved from the bone. Ren's hand remained attached to his shoulders. He was still alive. The tip of his sword had come even a hair's breadth closer. Ren's life would have ended. But that did. The red blade stopped dead in its tracks, right before reaching its mark. The sword stopped mid-swing. Master. Guess this is what they call a hero's pride. You got lucky, child. Master. Please don't move. I'm afraid his kick injured me pretty badly. So please, just stay still for now. Senpai. Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. His eyes turned blue and he walked away and back to red. I don't understand that. That was weird. Oh well. Let's do this. Start. I'm back, Ophelia. That was fast. Did you retrieve the Paper Moon Void Reality Observation device that once belonged to the Alice Institute, as I instructed? Better not have broken it, did you? His eyes turned blue. Then he stopped the sword. Yeah, I just don't know why. Don't ask me. I can't get used to these man-made toys for the life of me. Sure, I'll figure it out later on in the story. You want your little golden treasure so badly, take a look for yourself. Good, this is definitely the real thing. Why don't you hang on to it for me? Don't let anyone else have it, no matter what. Girl, you're the strongest being in all of Scandinavia, with the exception of Her Majesty. I'm sure. So, now that I've fulfilled my duties as a servant, do I get some kind of reward? How about it, Master Ophelia? Well done, Saber, my most powerful knight. I have no other work for you for the time being. Feel free to rest up and relax for a while. How does that sound as a reward? That works. Oh, and may I say something? Sure. You mind not staring at me with those red eyes? You're a funny one. You think you've got room to talk when it comes to unusual eyes, Ophelia? Never mind about me. We have the Paper Moon. Right now, that's all that matters. The all-terrain void transporter Shadow. Maybe only one of its kind in existence, able to do the impossible, but without the Paper Moon serving as its eyes, it's useless. I commend Chaldea for destroying the Russian Lostbelt, but without the Shadow Border, they can go no further. This is where their journey ends. Now there is effectively no one left who will interfere with Lord Kuchtaria. Now all that remains is... Oh... Okay, I was wondering when would we get to be introduced to her. Okay. I'm glad to see you in such high spirits, Ophelia. So she's gonna be our main bad guy we fight, bad person. Are these high spirits born of true romance, or mere puppy love? Even after thousands of years of attempting to do so, I cannot quite grasp the concept of love, though I know you humans speak of it often. Tell me, what does it taste like? Is it sweet? Perhaps spicy? Even fiery? Majesty. I never took you for one to smile upon getting a new toy. I see that even you have a soft side. Now what of this tree of emptiness? I believe you called it? How is that faring? Coming along well. Even now it continues to grow larger in its garden, away from any who might observe or interfere. Since there is no opposing faction in the Scandinavian Lostbelt, there will be nothing to interfere with its growth. Faction? I must confess I am unfamiliar with that word. I suppose we do hear the occasional lone wolf howl, but that is of no consequence. If anything, it helps to pass the time. Still, I suppose if they were to form a pack, that could be somewhat troublesome. Don't you agree, Ophelia? Yes, I do. My word. My world, my Scandinavia, is a land where peace reigns far and wide. There has never been conflict among its people, not once. The wild beasts do devour their prey, of course, but that is as far as it goes. Pointless conflict is a foreign concept to man and beast alike, as is resentment. The worst that has ever happened in a single wolf's howling, don't you think? You. Under your rule, this world of Scandinavia has become one of the great embodiments. What do you say that, Ophelia? Sounds as though there are other worlds that have achieved similar peace. How adorable. Surely. Lostbelt's stability is of vital importance, Your Majesty. It is the key to growing our tree. All you need to do is continue ruling as you always have. You truly are a selfless young woman, aren't you, Ophelia? I suppose I should commend you for your diligence, but it takes more than that to be a queen. Do you understand me, Ophelia? If not, I suggest... With all due respect, Your Majesty, I am no queen. Aha. Why did you take it? My land has no place for avarice. If you were to protect and obey me as your queen, you would do well to remember that. I believe you called it a compass. I see. The hospitality of my ice castle is not enough for you. Surely you haven't forgotten. Every bit of snow and ice blanketing this world is a part of me. As I preside over all that is pure white, nothing can elude me. I know and see all that takes place within my land. I can hear it too. Breath of all living creatures, their cries, their fluttering. I can hear the howl of the wind, the symphony of leaves overlapping, and of course, the words of humans. That goes for the crew of the Shadow Border as well. As I speak, they are erecting a bounded field to keep the giants away. How touching, how pitiful. I see they too are humans. They guard their lives closely so they may grow and survive. Saber, didn't I tell you that they were free to kill everyone there except Mash? I can't tell you humans apart. Why you? How delightful. You certainly are blunt, Dragon Slayer. Nonetheless, Ophelia, it seems you still fail to understand my methods. Why kill them? With all due respect, Your Majesty, because the Chaldeans who live on in the Shadow Border are our enemies. Our enemies, If you want me to kill them all right now, I'll go take care of it. Don't. I don't want you killing Mash Kirillite. Interesting. I don't believe I've ever seen that look on your face, Ophelia. You never so much as batted an eye when it came to that archer, but just now, I could have sworn I saw a look of genuine concern on your face. Interesting. I take it this Kirillite person means something to you, then, oh, Ophelia? Forgive me, Your Majesty, I cannot answer that question. You really are adorable, Ophelia. Very well, I shall forgive you this once. As for you, Knight, do not kill them, I forbid it. My snow and ice is an expression of my love, not of death. I will not tolerate anyone staining its pure white with crimson. Is that clear? Love is a wonderful thing. Didn't she just say she had no idea what it was? If you ever come to know it yourselves, take care not to lose it. You must cradle it in your hands, and hold it close, hold it tight. If you are not careful, loveless flames may throw everything out of balance. That is how it has been since the gods first came to be. Is that clear, Ophelia, Sir Knight? Majesty, I will not forget it. Love, huh? No, I won't let what happened to Kadok happen to me. I will not fail. I will do everything I can to help Lord Kishtaria. I will feed on the other Lostbelts and make certain I live up to his hopes for me. Youngest Valkyrie. Indeed. You always get that look on your face whenever you speak of the tree, Ophelia. Do you not like it here? Do you feel as though you don't belong? Portland? Portland? No, I don't think that. Portland. Valkyrie. I'll have to see how that's pronounced. My mother was Scandinavian, albeit in proper human history. This is my homeland of a sort. I would never hate it here, quite the opposite. I feel as though some part deep inside of me is more at peace than it's been in a long time. Even the air tastes better here. I love this place. Wayne does keep surprising me with how generous she can be. I don't mind that either. You love it, you say. Yes, I do. I was so glad when I found myself here after my coffin was open. He is not silent. Ortlindy? I've heard from server lines. 1 second. Orlindy? Pronunciation. I'll take a look at that later. Really mean that. Which is why... Actually, hold on. How to pronounce... That didn't sound right. Sounds like it's text-to-speech, which you can't... It's not very reliable.
Ortlinde.
I don't know. Anyways. He's fine. Which is why I'm proud it's my job as a cryptor to tend to the tree. It's a crucial life form, a necessary one. Necessary. For this Krichtaria man, you mean? For this Lostbelt. Didn't I already tell you three about it? Yes, you did. I've logged your current statements in my memory. I'll go ahead and link them to our shared memories now. Ortelind? I've received a question from Hilder. He wants to know why you always have the bitter look when you talk about the tree if you don't dislike it. Bitter? Well, because... Makes me keenly aware of how powerless I really am. Even if the tree does grow to maturity, the most I can hope to do is keep it that way. It's very unlikely this world will change unless I use my serious light. I want to change this land, Ophelia. Sometimes, you don't? We can analyze, but we can't make judgment calls. All we can do is follow the orders we're programmed with. Did you forget, Cryptor? We aren't humans. We only exist to carry out our master's orders. Yes, I remember. Here again. Huh? Sorry. Same look on your face as when you discussed the tree, so I respond the same way Thruid would now. Thruid would. Now that our statements have synced up. See, I'm afraid that, even between the three of you, your analysis must still be incomplete.